Today we will be doing an overview of the major parts and components of the Geoprobe direct push drill rig. The Geoprobe is an efficient, reliable, and versatile machine capable of capturing high-quality samples across many different types of geology. Now let's go ahead and take a look at some of these parts and components. A great resource for future information on parts and components of any drill rig would be the owner's manual. The owner's manual contains all kinds of helpful information that can also be found on the internet. First off, we have the probe derrick. It's also referred to as a tower or mast. Here we have the auger drive head. Although this is a direct push drill rig, it does have augering capabilities, although you will find once you get into the labs the advantages of the direct push system. This is the U-joint. The U-joint is found on the bottom of the auger drive head. It allows us to attach augers or other drill tooling to the auger drive head. Since it is a U-joint, it allows us to spin our tooling when it's not completely vertical or lined up with our machine. Here we have the control panel. These levers, buttons, and gauges allow the operator to completely control every function of the Geoprobe drill rig. Something to point out about the setup of this panel: no matter what drilling you're doing, there's always the potential to make a big mess. These rocker switches tend to get dirt and debris stuck behind them, so it's important to make sure they are free of debris in order to function properly and safely. On the right side of the control panel, you will find the ignition switch. This functions just like the key in your car. At the bottom of the probe derrick, you will find the toes and probe foot. The toes and probe foot help to distribute the weight of the machine over a larger surface area. This helps prevent the machine from sinking into soft, muddy ground. Here we have the GH percussion hammer. Although this is a direct push sampling rig, if the ground becomes too hard, we can turn on this hammer to assist in penetration. Hammering action can also assist with sample collection across various geologies. Here we have the rotational safety cage. This large black cage is put around the drill probe's assembly when using the augers. When it is open, the auger head will only spin very slow. This allows for safe adding of tooling and augers. Since this rig mostly utilizes direct push, this cage is most often left open as we do not require to rotate any tooling. Here's the auto hammer. The auto hammer is used for various penetration tests. The auto hammer operating is equivalent to a 140-pound weight free-falling 30 inches, even though it is hydraulically operated. Here we have the mast and winch. The mast and winch allow us to hoist various tooling in and out of the hole or around our work area. Something to point out is when you first set up the rig for operation and you have your probe derrick at 90 degrees, you must fully extend this mast and winch assembly. Failure to do so could result in the probe smashing into the top of the winch. Please remember this, nobody wants to be that person that rips off a hydraulic hose. The control panel side of the Geoprobe machine, towards the back you will find the hydraulic reservoir. This contains the hydraulic fluid used throughout the hydraulic system on the Geoprobe machine. You will learn more extensive knowledge related to the hydraulic reservoir in your hydraulics class in semester 3. Something to point out is the sight glass found at the top left part of the hydraulic reservoir. This tells you the exact level of hydraulic fluid in the machine, and it is important to keep this within the operating range. Control panel side of the Geoprobe machine, just above the tracks you will find the hydraulic extruder and its control. This is used to push stubborn samples out of collection devices. The Geoprobe machine itself is mounted on a rubber track carrier. Tracks allow us to spread the weight of the machine out over a large area to reduce the damage and imprint we put on the ground. This also allows us to turn efficiently on pavement without destroying it. On the control panel side of the Geoprobe machine, at the back left corner, you will find the master battery disconnect switch. It is important to remember to turn this off overnight to avoid draining the batteries and not allowing us to start the machine in the morning. At the back of the Geoprobe machine, we have the hydraulic blade. The hydraulic blade is used to pick up the drop rack that contains our tooling and toolboxes. Here we have the drop rack. The drop rack holds our various drill tooling and toolbox. It also serves as a platform for working on and has a vise to help break apart stubborn tools. Here we have the diesel fuel tank. It is important to keep your fuel tank free of any contaminants, and here at the college we use only high quality red dyed diesel fuel. Here we can see the top of the 4-cylinder diesel that is the heart of the Geoprobe drill. Your understanding of repair and maintenance of these diesel engines will be further developed in your rig maintenance class. And here we see the hydraulic pumps mounted to the front of the engine, which provides flow for all the various hydraulic functions of the Geoprobe drill. This concludes our overview of the parts and components of the Geoprobe direct push drill rig.